So that is Petrichor. All right.
Them clouds.
So Shrey, it was your first game. I know you'd read the rules and everything, but thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really, really tight, fun game. Like with the card distribution reduces if you basically give everybody every choice, it would paralyze the game, right?
Right.
Yes.
The card distribution forces you to think, plan out the cards you want to play. And that will definitely be affected by what other people will do. There is a really strong amount of interaction here. It's great. I had a lot of fun. The end of round when someone passes what you did on the last round. That's also really interesting. I generally held on to all my a lot of cards because that's kind of what I do in this kind of game.
Right.
But I think that decision is very interesting.
And I did not hold on to my cards. Yeah. All right. So,
I mean, it's the kind of game that generally appeals to me. It's the rules aren't too complicated. It's a quick teach. You can sit down, easily teach it. It's a lighter game, but that's what I like of a lighter game is have not too complicated rules. And it is very interactive. I mean, it's an intensely dynamic game. Everything is moving around. It's interesting. I played last weekend. I got the chance to play Wingspan. Beautiful theme, beautiful cards, but it's really, what everybody else is doing is completely irrelevant to you.
Yeah.
And this I much prefer because what everybody else is doing is completely relevant.
Yeah.
And you're kind of runching around.
also pretty. Right?
Also very pretty.
Yeah.
Not as pretty as Wingspan, to
Agreed.
be fair, but
Fair
definitely pretty enough to be well worth it. The concern we had last night was that there was too much going on this track.
Yes.
And not enough points were coming out of here to make a difference.
Right.
I was wondering today whether that would change a little bit, and I'm still not sure. I feel a little bit more that was going on here. Maybe if we played it a few more times, we'd get a better sense of it. But I'm still a bit concerned about there's a lot of points come off
On
this
the weather track. Well, I mean, and you saw from my result, I lagged behind you guys significantly, and in the end result, I'm back here.
Yeah.
The leaders were up there, and look at the gap. So the key is
You have to vote.
I don't know that you have to win it, but you have to be
Competitive.
keep the leader in sight to be able to do that. I would say.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I was thinking of, and I was actually thinking about doing this at the beginning of the game, was just completely ignore voting and go always for taking points off the pips. Because if you're able to do that, could you get enough points to be the equivalent of getting up to somewhere around here? The thing is, though, the very first thing we had was basically 1 pip away from a harvest.
Yeah.
So I thought, that's when that happens, then that blows it out.
That's the thing is there's not that much availability for that potentially, and especially when you're re-rolling the dice that are non-harvest ones.
Right.
Now, and we kept complaining, I was going to do that. I was going to do the harvest deck because I was going to take the 3 points. And so when that happens, you can't plan on we got 6 rounds. Maybe you can do that 3 or 4 times, 18 points, 24 points that you're going to get from that.
If things work perfect.
That's if you get to do all of them.
Exactly.
And that's not likely. So, I know that was commented on in chat that, you could just do that. Maybe if it comes to you and you have that ability, but if you plan on that and then don't get into the voting and you're not able to do that as a
You're
backup
too far
plan,
behind.
now you've gotten neither. So you can't just say, well, I'm going to take it every time because people do things on their turns.
Yep.
Well, I would like to try that strategy and see how many points would come from it.
Yeah,
and give it a
but
shot.
again,
It'd be interesting.
it's going to get split up, and that voting, you have to vote. You can't ignore this board in favor of the harvesting. You need to make sure you're getting into some of
So
those.
my question for you guys now is, with the way the board laid out, it was mostly random, the way we actually set this up.
Yeah.
I'm curious how big of an impact you think there definitely seem to be better tiles than others, as it were, like the coffee, right? If you're going to be leading that, obviously I exploited rice early and you guys would never let me do that again. I get that. But it seems like a lot of the other tiles, other than the wheat tiles, nobody really bothered with the grass ones. Nobody really bothered with the cotton ones.
They paid out some,
right?
but and I think they were. So we had 4 scorings, I think.
Right.
1, 3, 5, and 6 was
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
And I think in all of them, at least like 1 or 2 of these 4 were.
As supplemental
Yeah.
scoring, not
But
it shouldn't
yes,
be the focus,
it isn't a great
right?
amount.
Yeah.
If you had more frost rain combinations, that would be very good for the cotton and grass, because then you could actually get a thundercloud with just 2 or 3 drops, which is enough to activate.
Yeah,
those.
frost only
True.
happened on the very last round.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys were going for the high point ones. I primarily went for the lower ones because I knew I could get 2 out, score, and you guys were going to fight over the higher point ones. And so, I mean, I went less contentious and less high point scoring.
Fair point. All right. So there's that. So overall, enjoy the game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a nice, lighter, easy teach game, and I always like those.
I enjoyed. Obviously, we got a couple of fairly significant rules wrong last night. So there was that, or yesterday, whatever.
Not today.
Not today.
Today's when it
right.
counts.
No, my point is, I enjoyed the game much more today
Yeah.
than I did. Although I do also have some reservations about the weather track and whether or not how important the voting is, because I did use up I doubled up actions and I wasted actions by doubling up more than anybody else, and I wasn't able to get the winning votes on the weather, and I paid for it, and so I took some points, but I kind of did, like, I dipped my toes in both, and I don't think you can do that. I think you got to go whole hog trying to win votes, or like you were talking, trying that, provided the dice
I
work
think
with
it
you.
depends, and I think that's where that player interaction comes in, because you're all fighting over wheat. Normally, I would want to go for that, but if you're going to fight that heavy on it, I'm going to stay away
I
from
didn't
it.
want to, but
Right.
12
But then
points is 12 points.
Next
right?
game, if everybody's ignoring wheat, then, oh, hey, I'm going
Right.
to go over to wheat. So I feel like every time I'm going to look for where are the openings? Where can I get in? What's
do
available
what
to
other
me?
people aren't doing.
Right, and that's going to change it up for how I play each time. Whereas some games,
Yes.
it's just I have a strategy I'm just going to go in with. This is very much like, okay, they're all fighting over the coffee. I thought I was going coffee, but now I'm going to branch out and move my cloud over here just to get away from them. Or I'm going to jump in and let them do the work. I mean, it's about those actions and trying to get other people to play for you and minimize what you're doing, right? So,
Obviously, you shockingly did that better than we did.
not by that much. It's
Such a surprise.
Yeah, right. My shocked face.
Exactly.
There you
See
go.
how astonished I am.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more. I'll be honest, after last night, I was like, But a couple of those minor little things. Read the rule books, kids. Those
were pretty-
No,
yeah,
I did read it. That's the
yes.
funny thing is, even reading through it, you can still, it's written there.
Yeah.
I always, when I get a new
Not the
game,
harvest
play
die.
the game and
Right.
then read the rulebook again after the first
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
and then
Same.
I usually find 2 or 3 things I've got wrong.
Right. So there you go. Hey, but we got it right tonight. That's the important thing.
That's
And the flowers changed the game a bunch.
Okay, Derek says. All
Oh,
A bunch,
nicely
yes.
done,
right. All
Derek.
right. But bumps. There we go. All right. So that is Petrichor. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We did. It seemed like, and I enjoyed the evening. Nice way to
Yes.
spend a Friday evening with friends.
Definitely. Especially when it's
Partner.
raining outside.
Yeah, seriously,
I
right?
know. Even the weather was thematic.
Right. We tried to time it right.
Yes.
So there's that. All right. So check it out, Petrichor. Apparently you can find it out there on sale. People were saying they found it for a song,
Yeah.
or for a flower, as it were. So there's
Bouquet.
that. All right. Hey, there's that. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening. We'll be back next week with a full week worth of content to be determined. We will be letting you guys know Friday during the weekly, Sunday on the weekly look ahead at
Yes.
2 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, we're out of here. I'm Edward.
I'm Jess.
I'm Shrey.
And I'm Martin.
All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Stay dry.
Good night.
If you're in New Orleans, be safe down
Yes.
there. Check in, let people know you're okay, and just hunker down. Take care, everybody.